Well, it's 6:09 on the 20th of January, and while I am not working for Arsenal or in charge of transfers, seeing every other team make movements, I'm getting a bit jealous. And I have to say, where are the signings? Arsenal Football Club make some signings. I know it's difficult. I know there might not be options on the market, but as much as I hear that, winners find solutions, losers find excuses, people. And if you really sit there and tell me there are no players obtainable that can improve what we've got right now, I think that's a cop out. We heard that in the summer. We're hearing it in January. Probably hear it next summer. But nonetheless, let's go through what is concerning Arsenal fans. Now, the first is actually something that doesn't directly concern Arsenal fans. Allegedly, now equally there are rumors that counteract that. Carlo Ancelotti has decided to leave Real Madrid at the end of the season. His decision is final. Now, I'm not saying we should or shouldn't sack Mikel Arteta, but Carlo Ancelotti, when you do have these conversations, is somebody that gets thrown into the ring. Would you not get rid of Mikel Arteta if he doesn't get over the line and go for someone like Carlo Ancelotti, who has a proven track record at several clubs? His CV speaks for itself, people. Don't forget to smash the like button and let me know your thoughts. Now, we'd all have John Duran, wouldn't we? West Ham, who tried to sign him a summer or two ago, allegedly have submitted an offer worth £57 million to sign the Aston Villa striker, who recently did he not sign the new deal, people. Apparently, their proposal also included potential bonuses and is expected to be rejected. Villa have no intention of selling. Why can't we get involved in this? Why can't we get involved in something like this? And if we do see that, I don't know, there might be somewhat breakthrough for West Ham. Surely Arsenal can get involved if we see what the price is. Now, with the greatest of respect to West Ham, at this moment in time, there's only two things I can see that you guys offer him above Aston Villa. The London living aspect for a 21-year-old who's got all the money in the world, living in London, probably be great for his family. And maybe to be the unrecognized starter of West Ham strike force, people, where he's fighting with Ollie Watkins. But Aston Villa got a great project, trying to get the Champions League, signing good players, great manager, and it appears that Aston Villa have they're higher in the table, but substantially more stability than West Ham, people. But big up West Ham for trying, and one thing's for sure, people, when the time comes for Aston Villa to sell John Duran, they'll make a handsome profit, people, on whatever they spent on him when they signed him from Chicago Fire in January of 2023. Now, of course, I would love Isaac. He'd be the dream. I'm more than happy to have Sesko. John Duran would feature on one of my lists because of his age, because of an element of being Premier League proven, because I think he's got that nastiness to him. Now, Fabrizio Romano's insisted that Aston Villa's John Duran is not for sale after he signed a new deal until 2030. So he's essentially got another 5 years left, people. We'll have to watch that. Apparently, Paris Saint-Germain also remain in negotiations for him. And if they can't get him now, they get him in the summer. So it's nice to see teams are having some ambition. The Eintracht Frankfurt CEO confirmed he's interested in signing Arsenal centre-back Aidan Heaven, whose contract's running out, has at this moment in time been on the bench a couple times for Arsenal, played in pre-season, but has rejected a pro offer. So we'll have to see. I mean, I said if I was him, defenders do peak late, so you can afford to wait. But look at the amount of defensive options in front of him, including fellow Highlander Lewis Skelly. You're not going to get a look in. You probably need to go somewhere where there's a clear pathway. If not in the short term, immediately in the first team, there's a better project. Would love him to stay, but I could understand why he's going to keep it moving. I'm bored of hearing about Sesko to Arsenal. At this point, I want to see him wearing the shirt. Allegedly, Arsenal have stepped up their pursuit of RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko, with Mikel Arteta keen to secure his services, according to reports, people. We all know what happened against Aston Villa. We've been linked with him before. 13 goals in 23 games for the Bundesliga side. We're not getting him on loan. I think every Arsenal fan can see that. His agent did last week squash any talk of leaving in January and leaving on loan. But if you have lived under a rock, I don't know where this story has come from, but I've never talked with Arsenal about a loan move for Benjamin Sesko. Sesko is not a player for loans, and this was never a topic with Arsenal or any other club. If you ask me if Sesko will move in January, I can only say Sesko is an RB Leipzig player and fully focused on that. So again, I don't want to hear we tried and whatnot. And I would also say, for this article, reports coming out from Spain about a Slovenian international who plays in Germany who could be moving to an English club. Again, football's universal. Information comes from everywhere. David Ornstein breaks whole heap of transfer news and on various clubs and players. Same with Romano, and they're not necessarily, the local media. but I always find that a bit pessimistic. But it's claimed the Gunners are betting heavily on Sesko this month, and they've decided to step up their offer to sign the RB Leipzig striker in January. We're willing to go as far as 70 million. Whether that's enough in at this particular climate, I don't know. Evan Ferguson rumours have come back on people. Apparently, he's a potential loan target for Arsenal, but only if they move on one flop first. Without reading this article, we're not stupid. Smash the like button. You're not stupid, people. It's probably going to say get rid of Raheem Sterling, bring him in, or it could even be Neto because he's cup tied. We're probably going out of that cup. You're not going to play in the FA Cup because we're out. Can't imagine, God forbid, unless David Raya's injured, you're going to play in the Premier League. Who knows? In the next Champions League game, if we confirm qualification to the next stage, Bob's your uncle. You might be able to play in a dead rubber, but I think we have to go hard in every game we're playing. So, Neto, I don't know if and when you play football. We all know we're desperate for attacking options. Ben Jacobs, not sure on the credibility of him. He said the Gunners are interested in a move for Ferguson, but they could only sanction a deal if they offload goalkeeper Neto, currently on loan from Bournemouth. I hear it. Okay, well, a bit different from name dropping Raheem Sterling, but that means you have to bring in the goalie. You have to bring in the goalie. Who that keeper would be, where that is, I don't know. Or respectfully, you'd have a couple of kids on the bench in which big them up. You got to remember, we played Jack Porter in goal, big them up, but we do need an experienced man. In Pardon me, my humble opinions. We're always linked with that Garcia lad of Espanyol. Can't see that happening. We all know Neto hasn't played a part. We all know Raheem Sterling is struggling. And you know what? Whether I rate Sterling or not, I don't know how, with 8 minutes coming on in the 82nd minute, how he's meant to change the game. We have been re-linked with Cunha. Apparently, his agent's playing a coy game, people. Let's see exactly what Romano said here. Well, we're not going to see what he's saying. But yeah, check out the video I did earlier today. We did go over the Cunha stuff. See the save there. Maybe I could be the goalie. Now, Nuno Tavares, though I don't think he's improved defensively, but he's earning a lot of plaudits in Italy. And he's doing quite well for Lazio, people. Allegedly, Chelsea make inquiry for Arsenal flop as Romano reveals inquiry. I can't imagine Chelsea have any plans of putting him in their first team. Surely that's one where you'll go on loan and they'll make a little profit if that is the case. Allegedly, reportedly, Chelsea have made a request for Arsenal outcast Nuno Tavares, who's currently on loan at Serie A outfit Lazio. 24-year-old joined Arsenal in 2021, played 28 times, and thus far has been shipped out on loan. He's not played for Arsenal since the end of the 2021-22 season. He had spells on loan, as you know, with Forest. I completely forgot about that one. And Marseille, where he done well. He's found himself at Lazio. According to Alfredo Padula, Chelsea have been impressed with him. Don't know when and if they're going to make a move for him anytime soon. Doesn't make any sense here, really. And they have been linked with Gurhi, but that's all for Chelsea. I don't really care what Chelsea are doing. We were, in the last 48 hours, linked with Wahi of Marseille, people who did well against us for Lons. Apparently, he's joining Eintracht Frankfurt on loan, people. So that's another potential target that, quote-unquote, bites the dust. Probably a replacement for Marmoush, who could be going to City. I don't think any Arsenal fan thought they were going to sign Jamal Musiala. Nonetheless, he's set to sign a contract extension with Bayern Munich, dealing a blow to Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and City, who are all interested in signing him. I'm interested in going out with Kelly Rowland, as I always say. It doesn't mean I've got the finances to take her on a date. If she wants to go Nando's or something, why not? You lot all know I'm a big fan of Ryan Cherky. Apparently, 3 clubs in the Bundesliga are interested. Bayern Munich, Bayern Leverkusen, and Borussia Dortmund. He'll fit him very well. Apparently, he's got a 20 million euros asking price and verbal agreement to leave Lyon for such. I don't think Arteta will be happy with his work rate or his consistency, but the quality is there if we can harness it. And he's not available for that much. Now, I'm not interested in hearing about players we're not going to get. Victor Royce looks like he's going City, was previously linked with Arsenal. However, Gunner Blog have said Arsenal have no immediate need for a centre-back. Palmeiras' Victor Royce has been identified as a player of huge potential. Careful, because Saliba's injured. You don't want to talk too much. Like the signing of William Saliba in the summer of 2019, a move for Royce was seen by some at Arsenal as a way of future-proofing the centre of defence. Significant work had gone into the battle for Royce, and Arsenal felt they were in a strong position, but with other priorities to attend to, ultimately did not proceed with a deal. Manchester City have been able to swoop in and agree a transfer for a fee that could rise to as much as 33.8 million. So yeah, that would be pennies in my opinion. He's a lad with potential. Focusing on current existing Arsenal players, Benjamin White, Tomiyasu, Calafiori, and Ethan are believed to be nearing returns in the next few weeks, but Kyle Saka's absence is more long term and he's likely to be out until March. So, yeah, the more players we can get back sooner rather than later and also act in the transfer market, obviously, the better. We'd all love Jamie Gittins. Apparently, Romano said Chelsea made a formal inquiry for Gittins last week. Liverpool have sent scouts. He's expected to stay at Dortmund at least until January, and he is a top target for English clubs who will begin to make their moves. You have seen some reports say he's got £100 million asking price on his head. Once again, people, Ben Jacobs has said there's several strikers that are on our shortlist, people. Talks over a move have progressed well. There's confidence that a deal will happen. Which big name is closing in on joining Arsenal? Boy, who knows, people? Should we see this Twitter thread? Is there a way of seeing it? Strong interest in Benjamin Sesko, but likely a summer saga. Evan Ferguson of interest if Brighton sanction an exit, but Arsenal have to buy or send Neto back. Sterling's loan does not have a January break clause. Apparently, Botafogo's Igor Jesus, which, another striker called Jesus, that worked out well for us, is allegedly also on Arsenal's radar. We have seen some reports we've rejected bids. We've had loan bids rejected, etc., on this 23-year-old. Apparently, he's only played in Brazil and the UAE. Now, if you can, to a degree, whatever country you're playing in, if you're good with your feet and you can score goals, you can do stuff. But for me, in terms of a level raiser, it doesn't strike me as someone that really is that, especially because you haven't. I mean, he is only 23, but in this day and age where you just got to be a half decent Brazilian player, and you find yourself maybe not so much at Shakhtar, but at a minimum in the Portuguese league. Chelsea can't stop buying in Brazil. I know strikers peak late, and at 23, this is when you're there. But does it? It's a bit desperational. I guess we do. I always say players can come from anywhere, but it don't really fill me with confidence. Now, I know Arsenal are not going to sign Douglas Luiz, right? And if we do get Zubamendi in the summer, which again need to see official confirmation, that's another thing, right? But I would love to have Douglas Luiz, Declan Rice, Zubamendi, Moreno, and whatever have you, but it's unrealistic, in it. But I think Douglas Luiz would be great. Put Rice back in the 6, Douglas Luiz is at 8. We could keep it moving, man. But one thing's for sure, once again, people, it's the 20th of January. You've got a week or just over a week at that until the end of the transfer window. Whether it's a loan, whether it's a top player for 100 million, whether it's an unknown entity for 10 million, Arsenal need players. Comment if you think I'm lying.